Yeah. It's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. Shout to the Nets fans. We the best fans. Shout to Quest One. Shout to Ice. You know what I'm saying? Shout to myself on the early. You know what I mean? Pull up. Yo, I'm monetized now. I can't have y'all here talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be watching, seeing if I can get brand deals. Excuse me, yada yada whoopie whoop. I already got the for entertainment only going across. I'm gonna need y'all to hold it down. I basically want y'all to have the same content. You know what I mean? Top of the top, big homie. I don't want y'all to curse. Try to take out the curses. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's lit, man. Shout the big homie, shout the money Mike. To chat be lit, man. That's the reason why I be saying Nets fans is the best fans. You see, Quest One said like and share the link for sure. We out here, Money Mike. So word, what up, big homie? But what y'all want to talk about, man? You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into Ricky Council the fourth. He part of the team now. I was looking at some of his highlights, you know what I mean? And so, you know what I'm saying? We gonna see about it. We gonna see about it. But we gonna y'all know Nets fans is the best fans, so we gonna go to X and we gonna go to Nets Twitter and we gonna see what's going on. Now for starters, before we get into any of that content, I would say that I like this Ricky Council ad. He's an explosive player, and I think this is how the Brooklyn Nets can sell tickets. You know, I know they're trying to appeal to the to Raf and him playing for Israel and all of that. But at the end of the day, if they wasn't hooping like that for real over there, you shouldn't get them just because they from a place. Get them because they know how to hoop. You know what I mean? But let's go see what's going on with extra. You know what I mean? Shout out to Brooklyn Nets supporter. He said not paying bro is better than either two of them, but he's a fantastic player. 23 years old, averaging the same numbers Vince Carter was. He was the number one pick. James Harden, the number five pick. He said that's his favorite player, maybe because of that step back, but I don't know. 49% efficient field goals. Same all of them, same numbers pretty much. Same exact numbers. I got some other content that I want to show you, some proof that I've seen on another page. Shout out to this Brooklyn Nets page I shared to them. They got a page and they showed how we was 15 and 15 before they put Cam Thomas on the bench, and then we racked up a bunch of losses. Shout out to that page, one of my favorite pages, man. I hope some of them guys jump in the chat. Um, Quest One moderator on this page. He said, I gotta make Big Homie and Money Mike moderators, man. Quest One, he said, let's talk about people playing with that boy CT name that nobody wants him. That's straight up lies. That's a fact. A prolific scorer like this, yeah, you may want to avoid as a franchise paying them top dollar, but that's how all companies are, all businesses are. They're not gonna want to pay you know, their players or employees top dollar unless they have to, and they don't have to because, the 65 game rule, the numbers that he's asking as if he played more than 65 games, more than one season. So Cam Thomas is true. When he's healthy, you should be paying him $30 million. But if he's only available was over 65 games, one season out of four, the odds is against him when it comes to, him negotiating because of what the statistics say. And if they're being technical, when you look at what you're eligible for before 65 games, it's no NBA awards. Excuse me. So you're not going to get no incentives in your contract. Even if you have incentives in your contract, it'll be contingent on what you did after 65 games. And the fact that he doesn't have that 65 games, it just goes against him in negotiating. But that's all it is, Quest One. But talent wise, bro, every team would love to have him on this. Every team would love to have a scorer as prolific as Cam Thomas. You know what I mean? The name of the game is scoring. So, you know, that being said, we want to see. Hopefully, he stay on his team. There's enough space on this roster for Cam Thomas, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, Derek Whitehead. Okay. Okay, shout to Nets Twitter, man. We out here. That's Brooklyn Nets cat. Shout to them. Shout to them. I had some Ricky Council highlights we finna get into. Uh, okay. Portland Trailblazers picked up Duarte Reef. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, we know about Zaire. Y'all remember this commercial? This commercial is classic. I gotta watch this.
A drink, Mr. Bryant?
Yeah, I'll have a vodka martini.
How many olives would you like?
81.
Really?
Nah, man, I'm just playing. Just two. Joke for him. He gets it.
A drink, Mr. Bryant?
81. I love that commercial, man. Oh man. But yeah, that's basically rest in peace, Kobe, man. Love you, Kobe. Everybody always talk about how Cam Thomas not Kobe. He learned from Kobe. He learned how to pivot. You see that spin move with Kobe? He spin off his pivot like off from a after a pump fake. He got that from Kobe Bryant. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he may not be the defender Kobe Bryant is, but the prolific scorer. He got a lot of potential to be the prolific scorer. But the difference between Kobe and Cam Thomas is the athleticism. Kobe was dunking too. So I'll give Kobe the edge over Cam Thomas because of the athleticism, the height, you know what I'm saying? But just the work ethic, yeah, Cam Thomas is a student of Kobe Bryant, man. Mamba mentality. You know, he's in my opinion, he's handling this as a young man with grace. You know, Cam Thomas is a dangerous player, man. Dangerous player. I just think we better with him on the team. I got love for the new additions. I got love for Ricky Council. I got love for him, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got love for these new players. I do. But you gotta be careful, you know what I mean? There you go right here. I told dude I was gonna do this too. I told him, I said, yo, shout to Beeman Boy 81. Yo, how was you gonna talk about Macau? Money Mike said, how you feel about Nets offering Cam 2 years, 28 mil, and Macau getting 150? Yo, I think Cam Thomas, because of it just goes back to the 65 game rule. But you know, because how integral he could be part of the offense and just winning with the Brooklyn Nets, I think they should pay him more. I think they should, you know, put confidence in him. They've done bad. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, you know what I mean, signings a lot of the times, and it was because of the free agency. You know, I don't think they missed with Cam Thomas by investing in him. Yeah, and I don't see how that would go against us having money to do whatever else is necessary going forward with the free agency. I still think we have cap space to flex. Still think we got some money. You know what I'm saying? We ain't broke because we paid Cam Thomas. Not only me, there's other fans out here that talk about Debunking Lies, Exposing the Cam Thomas Sabotage, Part 4. This is John Claude McComb Jr. Like I said, Nets fans is the best fans, and I want y'all to know that I'm not some rogue fan and only one defending Cam Thomas. There's great fans out here like John Claude McComb Jr. that's out here doing the work. He said, can someone explain why Cam Thomas was suddenly pulled from the starting lineup when the Nets was sitting at a 15-15 record, right before they essentially mailed in a loss to the Milwaukee Bucks? Make sense. Here's what followed after that decision. You send him to the bench. There's a win versus Detroit. There's a loss. The 5 losses in a row to Milwaukee, Washington, to the Thunder, to the Pelicans, to the Rockets. And look at the points. Look at the points. Look at how we struggle to score without Cam Thomas being an integral part of the offense. 112, that's decent. 122, I mean, shit, we can't guard nobody, so don't make it seem like Cam Thomas was the reason why they got 144. 104, 108, just cracking over 100. Just getting over 100. Mikal Bridges, the leading scorer, 2 losses. Oh, we can't win when Cam Thomas is the leading scorer. No, we can't win when Mikal Bridges is the leading scorer. They paid Cam Thomas $150 million, and he's not a number 1 option. I guess they believe in his defense, and they got their reasons on why they loyal to Mikal Bridges. And he took $6 million less for flex to cap for cap space flexibility. So they decided to pay him. I don't know if he gets that anywhere else. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. They said, see, I even told him I love you. I keep fighting. I'm meant to say I'm going live later. But yeah, man, it wasn't no winning basketball when he was leading scorer. 26 points. We only had 114. We needed more than that, obviously. Even with Mikal Bridges scoring 30, but Mikal Bridges is the number 1 option. We lose games, not Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas essentially never had the real chance to be in the number 1 option when he was prioritized. Even when Schroeder was here, Schroeder was pretty much facilitating and making Cam Thomas the 2nd or 3rd option. But he wasn't making Cam Thomas the 1st option because he could score himself. So he was doing that. Shout out to JP Fowler. He said facts. He said, Money Mike said, do you believe Sean Marks is the right GM for us? I don't know. I think he's appeasing to international players and try to sell tickets with the fan base. But at the end of the day, exciting basketball sells tickets. I heard Ben Surratt got a spin move. Let me see it. You know what I'm saying? The ABA gave flair to the NBA. And you got that respectfully from African American players. And somebody like Ricky Council, you know what I'm saying, is an athlete fitting to come in, you know what I mean, dunk. And I mean, if Ben Surratt could do that, if these European players could do that, that's what's up. But what I'm saying is don't overlook international players for international players. And then when you look at the stats of the international stats, you be like, all right, I don't understand besides the fact that they're international, And my thing is the international players getting the rep for being better than national players? Like, let's just put it on the table. You know what I'm saying? Let's just put it on the table. Is that what it is? I don't believe that, I don't believe that. I like to think that the international players did close the gap. I believe that. And I think basketball is a very fast evolving sport, and it's a team sport, and focusing on team play over individual play in the team sport, obviously that's going to be, a good thing. And again, I just feel like the whole thing about them having that narrative is before zone defense. Zone defense, before zone defense, if you want to say the NBA is built on ISO play and this and that, okay, I guess. But after zone defense, it shows that, they don't want one-on-one situations, or they try to shy away from it as much as possible because it's a team game. You know what I mean? But to get to Money Mike's question, to answer it, I don't know. He has to do right by his draft picks. He hasn't done right by Jared Allen. He didn't give Kyle Kuzma a chance. He traded him, but that was with the Brook Lopez thing, so he kind of had to do that. I think he just went with the flow. I won't hold that against Sean Marks. But he got to do the right thing. But he didn't do the right thing with Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Joe Harris, and Jared Allen. He gave Joe Harris the contract over Jared Allen, which Jared Allen was a draft pick. Like, Joe Harris wasn't a draft pick. I think he played with Cleveland before he played with us. I think he's ignored the draft picks prior to now and kind of overlooked them. And he's doing the same thing with Cam Thomas, and it's nasty work. None of the players that you drafted is a prolific scorer like Cam Thomas. None of the free agents that you got is a prolific scorer like Cam Thomas. You want to downplay his value just because technically you can because of the Players Association, CBA, contract that was agreed upon. I think you could being technical and just book business by the book. You can miss out on a super duper talent like Cam Thomas, and talent if drafted players, if you get to see that if you get drafted there, you're not going to get the opportunity to be appreciated because they're not going to pay you. What if there's college players that we're going to be in the draft next year too? There's players that probably imagine there's a player with high morale that wants to come here because they see Cam Thomas get paid. They see the rookies this season get a chance to get minutes. This is why Ivy is a bad trade. He's going to take minutes from Nolan Troy or Ben Surratt at the point guard position. Talking all of this positionless basketball, no. It's going to be about position, especially about the point guard. You get Ivy in here, it's bad. He's going to take minutes from Nolan Troy. You get what's his name? The other dude. He was going to take Anthony Simons. He's going to take minutes from Nolan Troy and Diego Demen at the point guard. Yeah, they may tinker with, they may experiment with Diego being the point forward, which is good. But they drafted him to be the point guard. They drafted him to be the point guard. They didn't really draft the two guard. Even with me thinking that Drake Powell is going to be a two guard, but it looked like they got him focused on being a small forward. But we'll see. But I want to say thank you to this Nets fan. Keep debunking the lies. Keep debunk Brooklyn Nets basketball Facebook group. Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite Facebook groups to them. Now, I want to see what else. This is that post. I want to come off of the post. Let me come off of this post. All right, how I get to the groups. What's that? Where's that? Let's see. But yeah, I ain't gonna trip on that. I'll get to that another time. But yeah, man, shout out to the Nets fans. We the best fans. Shout out to Claude Smith. Claude Smith says, he a moderator on his page. He said, "Well, I speculate on the inevitable. Cam Thomas signs with the Nets. Or yeah, yo, that's what I'm saying. Question one, you're not entertaining us by getting these players just because they like. What are we doing? Like, what is the political interest in getting Israel players? And my thing is, what was he that nice? Do you know what I'm saying? Was he that nice? I know you guys don't want to. I know you guys don't. I don't want to be the bad guy. You guys want to point your finger at me and say, "There's the bad guy." What that make you? Good? Huh? What that make you? Huh? You're not the bad guy. Now, that being said, look, these guys right here too. Giving Cam Thomas big support. Shout out to them. Subscribe to their podcast.
the Brooklyn Nets, $1 billion.
I don't see why it would be the worst thing in the world to give Cam 2 years, $20 million.
Don't spend more money than you need to. That's like a good life rule. But I also think that makes a little bit more sense, like me, a 26-year-old person. Whereas if you're the Brooklyn Nets, $1 billion organization, I think there's something that can be said for like, all right, we take care of our people. The Nets have all this cap space. They're rich in terms of cap space. And it's like they're going to the car dealership and like bartering with the guy so that they can get like a discount. You don't need to nail it on the books right now. It's good to nail it on the books, but you don't really need to. You can sacrifice a little bit there to come out and say, we take care of our people. If they're a contending team and you got to preserve cap space for specific trajectories and windows, it's one thing. But this is the beginning of like a long rebuild.
With where the Nets are at and where they're going, it couldn't kill to do the right thing by him. He was drafted by Sean Marks. He's a homegrown player, still only 23 years old. And we know that he's got a lot of talent. Regarding Sean Marks' reputation, we really do praise him when he does the right thing for players. And in this situation, I think we should hold him to that same standards, right? Like the Nets aren't going to be good for another 2 years. I don't see why it would be the worst thing in the world to give Cam $20 million, 2 years, $20 million. Wouldn't you want this guy part of your team? Not a diss to any of these other guys that they picked, but they picked 5 first-round picks. I don't know if any of them at 19 years old were able to do what Cam Thomas was able to do.
Facts. See? I'm not the only one saying what I'm saying, man. Shout out to them. See what I mean? Make it make sense. Jerry Side. He says all that culture talk about the Brooklyn Nets are player-friendly organization so they can attract players, but won't take care of their own drafted player and homegrown talent. Exactly. Why are we making the international players more important than these national players? It's corny. I gotta call. Listen, at the end of the day, they don't have my loyalty to the extent where I can't speak my mind. You know, I think it's corny on Sean Marks' part to overlook national players for international talent. And then my thing is, when they did that, these players were great. I don't think y'all understand. And I'm going to take y'all down this road real quick. I want y'all to see what Petrovic was when he got drafted. I want you to see what Jokic was when he got drafted. I want you to see these players that were getting drafted and how good they were on their teams before they got here. And we're going to compare them, not to Diego because he played in BYU, but these leagues and other places, they not competitive. We slapped around that team. We didn't beat a lot of teams, but we beat them. We whooped their ass. I mean, we whooped bro, belt to ass, bro. I'm about to show y'all what the score was last time we played them. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think y'all understand. And I want to see if we played. Did we play Vincent Raff last year? Is that the preseason? I know we didn't play his team. Because we played like Israel or something like that. We whooped their ass. Like, what are we doing? What is this, like some political shit we got going on? Respectfully, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Like, what we doing? Like, what's happening? When did we play them? They had some funny ass. When did we play them? I don't know. We smacked them. The score was very lopsided. When did we play that? Oh, I want y'all to help me look for the. Well, I'm looking at it right now. I want y'all to help me look. Because I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure out when we played them. Shout to RJ76. He said, bring the best out of Ricky Council. Gotta get RJ76 on the panel, man. Shout out to RJ76. He is 76 a fan. Definitely want to hear his take on basketball right about now. Shout out to you, bro. I'm about to throw the link in the chat. Stick around. I just want to make my point. Just trying to make my point. We played them one time. Team from Israel. Did that game even count? I don't see it on the schedule. I know I'm not bugging, yo. I know we played this team and we whooped them. Was that not last year? Was that the year before? Preseason. Was it then? There was no competition, yo. What they want us to play? Scrubs? Here you go. 135 to 103. Slapped them around. Is this the team that we playing? Let me see. 25, 20. Oh, they ain't got the schedules up. I thought I seen the schedules. I seen the preseason schedules. I ain't tripping, right? Yo, that better not be where Ben Sharaf from. That better not be. Oh man, I said Ricky going to the G. Let me throw the link in the chat, man. Let me throw the. I thought Ice was live right now, man. Shout out to Nets fans. We the best fans, man. We everywhere. We on TikTok. You heard me? We everywhere, man. We on YouTube. We on X. All of that. All right. Hold on. Trying to throw the link in the chat. BB Sarad. All right, let me do it this way. I try to throw the link in the chat. Let's see if we have more time. But where did he go, man? Let's look up Ben Sharaf. Let's look up Ben Sharaf real quick. Let's see what he was doing. Like, what are we doing? We getting these players because what they good, right? We're not getting them just because they from Israel, right? I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. I want him to know how to play basketball. Hopefully he's nice. Hopefully he's nice. Well, let's see what he did back home. Let's see what he did. Acclimating. Okay. Euro basketball. Let's see what he did. Everybody say, oh, he's the least favorite pick. Let's see what he did. Why is he the least favorite? Maybe he should be the favorite. You know, maybe we should stop looking at Ben Sharaf like he's not the favorite. Did he get the warm welcome to the Brooklyn Nets? Anybody showing Ben Sharaf love? Huh? Who is he? Ben Sharaf is an Israeli basketball player. The 6'6" point guard who recently played at the Brooklyn Nets Summer League. Sharaf drafted, we know all of this. Sharaf has played in Germany, Greece, Israel, and Lithuania. He played Israeli national team between 2024 and 2025. But okay, what's his numbers? Y'all telling me about his agent? Who cares about his agent? No, this is what I don't like. I need to see points. I need to see points and rebounds. What's this? What's all of this? What's all of this, Ben Sharaf? What? See the new Jewish stars. What's going on? Danny Wolf and him Jewish. So what is this? Just about getting Jewish fans coming to buy tickets? Is this? Come on. Come on. What we doing? What we doing? Can they play basketball? I think Wolf is going to be better than Ben Sharaf. I don't know. Okay. Oh my gosh. This Ben Sharaf? Hold on. He averaged 28. Yo. What? Ben Sharaf averaged 28 points. Where's Ben Sharaf at? Nah, I ain't bugging. I knew I just seen what I just saw. Did y'all see that? Per game? View his profile, bro. Y'all see this? This is the type of numbers he putting up. This is nah, bro. I might have miscalculated. Ice in the chat say he can hoop. Huh? Ben Seraph hooping like that? What's his stats, though? I need to see his stats. Okay. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Everybody got something to say about Ben Surratt. I don't like Ben Surratt. Why y'all don't like Ben Surratt? What we talking about, man? We just not liking players, not to like players? Huh? Who is he, man? He's born in South Africa? Who is this guy, man? His ability on both sides of the court in every game made him a vital part of our team's success. Where's his stats at, man? I'm getting tight, man. What's the hype about Ben Surratt, man? Where your stats at, bro? Coach said I can hoop. Coach one, he said he can hoop. Coach one said not in the NBA. What's going on, man? Where your stats at, Ben? Ben, where your stats at, Ben? Yo, like, share, comment, subscribe. You know I'm finna throw the link in the chat. Oh my goodness, bro. Did this dude hoop or what? Where's stats? Money Mike said, I'm a LA Fitness legend. And you know his name, they nod their head when they see him. Oh man. They nod your head, they nod their head, they see Money Mike. There you go. Money Midi Mike. Mike with the MIDI. There you go. Ben Surratt, where is your stats, my brother? Oh man, Ben, what's up? Okay, we got this. This is what we got. We got something. Something better than nothing. We got something. Like, share, comment, subscribe. What they said? His full season. In a full season, he averaged 12.3, 4.3 assists, 12 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. 1 steal, that's okay. The lefty is an excellent playmaker with passing being his best skill. The shooting splits were 46, 29, 73. This team is not enough to move forward without Cam Thomas. Y'all talk about Cam Thomas like the Nets got enough to move around without Cam Thomas. I think it's nasty work. But no, we not done. We not done. We just found out the truth about these rookies, huh? All of the hype. Let's put all of the hype to the side. I ain't trying to hear it. Huh? This not enough to be talking about willy-nilly trading my guy Cam Thomas. Not because we got Ben Surratt. Oh no. Nolan Traore, 12-4-3. Gave him 75 games, and this is what he give you? If Cam Thomas plays 75 games, he getting you more points, around the same amount of rebounds. Yes, Cam Thomas is the bar. Stop acting like y'all ready to trade Cam Thomas just because we got these picks. No, the only way that it was supposed to be anyway considered, and I said I wanted them together, was the top 3. Cooper, who we knew we wasn't going to get, Ace and Dylan would have been great next to Cam Thomas. This is who y'all ready to move on from Cam Thomas because we got Nolan Traore? Huh? Respectfully. They supposed to learn and play alongside of Cam Thomas as teammates. They young pups. They young pups. Huh? They young pups. Why y'all want to do this? Drake Powell? He the bar. What you mean? Yes, he is the bar. Let them come in and get 2 game winners in their first as a rookie season. Why they not the bar? They ready to trade Cam Thomas and move forward with the rebuild without Cam Thomas. He the bar. All of the players that they drafted ain't better than Cam Thomas. Even if you try to, develop them into being prolific scorers like Cam Thomas. Let's see it. Let's see it. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. He played 37 games. He averaged 7 points, 3.4 rebounds, 1 assist a game. And y'all ready to move on from Cam Thomas? Because we got Drake Powell? What? No. Y'all not gonna do, not on my watch. Not on my watch. No. 10.6 points a game, 5 assists a game. Huh? Y'all ready to move on Cam Thomas because we got Diego Dement? He's supposed to be our future? Y'all supposed to make Nets fans like me that know we shouldn't trade Cam Thomas, forget about Cam Thomas because this is the players that we got? Y'all want me to be happy-go-lucky, jump for joy, and be slapping high fives with other Nets fans because these are the drafted players? What are we doing? You getting these players, you're looking over national players in the emphasis on the national. To go to Moscow, you go scout players all the way in Moscow. You go to Moscow, he ain't averaging 100 points. He should be averaging 25 points. You're looking over national talent for a player in Moscow that averaged 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists? You're looking over national talent for this? And y'all want me to be cool. Y'all want me to be happy. Y'all want me to be cool, calm, and collective. Relaxing. Nah. Y'all could be happy. Y'all could relax and this tickle y'all fancy. This is what Easy and Ice is cool with. This brings smiles to their face. Cam Thomas get traded. Ain't no sweat off their back. Because we're going to focus on the next draft and lose more games. I recap 32 out of 50 games. I recap 82 out of 82 games. We wasn't even 32 and 50. We was worse than that. I was the one spearheading the charge to deal with all of the Nets fan pain. I was there for you when y'all was mad that the Nets lost. I was there for you, Ice. I was there for you, Easy. I was there for all of the Nets fans. The little bit of bright light, this little light of my fan to let it shine. The little bright light we had with the Nets, Cam Thomas being in the starting lineup, getting busy with the mini that run the city. And y'all want me to be okay and just be, oh, it's all right, we can do it a different way? No, we'll have Sean Marks prove as a GM that trading Cam Thomas is a smart decision. What decisions that he made in the past with draft picks or free agencies to say that we should not, as Nets fans, critique what Sean Marks does as a GM? He get to sit pretty and sit Modelo? Huh? Y'all want to come up here and make me calm and relax about how Sean Marks is sipping Modelo's, thinking about not giving Cam Thomas the money he deserved, but you could pay Joe Harris, somebody who didn't do nothing after he got the contract, more injured than healthy? Y'all want to sit back and relax and let this happen? I ain't going to let it go down like that. When we look back at history, y'all going to see I kicked up dust. Y'all think I want to come here and just, I don't know, shoot the breeze? No. Y'all think I want to come here and just You know, oh, I love spending time with you guys. It's so much fun while y'all talk about trading Cam Thomas, acting like it's all good. It ain't good. He impact winning more than any player on this team. Nobody on this team impacts winning the way Cam Thomas does. I said go to Danny Wolf stats. I will go to Danny Wolf stats. Excuse me. Let's go to Danny Wolf stats. Huh? Okay, 13, 9, and 3. That's more like it. That's number 27 pick, just like Cam Thomas. That's better. That's way better, man. Come on, man. I ain't expecting him. Bro, I ain't said give him the world. If y'all heard my easy. If you heard my soliloquy, you heard me say business-wise, because of the 65 games, he's only got one 65-game season above out of 4. So realistically, on the business side, they cannot give him the world. Nets fans like me even know that he's not going to, you know what I'm saying, get that kind of money. I understand that he deserves it because of his talent, but based on the numbers projected, they're not going to pay him that money. I think he should sign a contract and come play basketball. Dr. Quest 1, he said, this A1 entertainment. Easy laughing. Claude Smith said, Breezy, you're a show be the you Irie? Show be directed at Sean Marks. When it's going to happen? Well, are you going to call him out by name? What you mean? I am. I'm calling him out right now. What you talking about? You know? I'm just saying, we gotta, as a fan, we observant. I'm just being observant, telling you what I see. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We hit 1,000 subscribers. I got a shout out to the guys, everybody that helped me build it to 1,000. That's Claude, Easy, Quest 1. Shout out to Shifty Sean, never seen you in here, you know what I'm saying? He said, you know what Ron was slow. Nah, that's not funny. That's not funny. Shout to player, bruh. This is disrespectful. Player 1, you don't get to say we. Talking about we. Bro, no. We're not moving on from Cam Thomas because we got Ricky Council. He averaged 7 points. This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. Shout to Nets DNA. Shout to Nets DNA. Chat in here talking that shit. The chat in here talking that shit. Nah, Shifty Sean. He better than the 6-man. Trust me. JDJ in the chat. He said, who the best 5 players in that history? Yo, it's that dialogue, Chris, that Dave Chappelle shit. You hilarious for that, JDJ. Nah, you got it with this one, bro. Yeah, this ain't even gonna have nothing to do with nothing. I'm gonna just leave this comment up here because it's the funniest. It's the funniest comment I've seen tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just leave this comment up here for right now. But the best rookie from what they did prior in college, it looked like Danny Wolf. It looked like Danny Wolf, man. What could I say? You know? But thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I see y'all in the chat. Shout out to Tommy Jones. He said, USA did not medal at FIBA last year. They lost to Canada for bronze medal, so world is catching up. That's a fact. The world is catching up. But when we pull up their stats, bro, you got to have better stats than that. And then the league, like, bro, they gotta do better than that, bro. They gotta do better than that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to make it just a political thing where you just get in these teams just to be, you know, you can't. The demographic, regardless, they're going to come out. They're going to show up. They're going to show up and show out. You ain't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Long as it's exciting basketball. Somebody like Ricky Council, I was watching his highlights. Bro, he gets to the basket. He an electric player. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, electric player. But yeah, man, without further ado, shout out to the locker room, man. That's real nigga shit. He came through. He said he said congrats on the 1K. I ain't gonna read his other comment, man. He played too much, man. But yeah, man, shout out to him, man. I've been on this show. Well, he's funny, man. One of his funniest posts to me was he said, "See the difference between me and you, Preezy, is that you came out here looking for friends. No, I came looking for smoke." That shit is funny. You should have had that. You always queuing up some clips. You should have queued that up. That is one of my favorite quotes. I just remembered that. You ain't never queued that up. Tommy Jones said, any shooting guard can score 20 on his team. Is it true? They're scoring that 20 like Cam Thomas. Don't make it seem like, yo, I don't like when y'all do that shit, bro. Cam Thomas is the lead scorer. Ain't no other scorer on this team. And they're not scoring it both the same way Cam Thomas is scoring. A bunch of these two guards want to take a bunch of 3-pointers and try to get to 20 with 7 3-points. Cam Thomas is getting to the rack. You heard me? Hold on. Oh man, easy, you bugging. Nobody twerking. That's a flagrant foul. That's a flagrant foul, my brother. But yeah, man, the clips. No, to you don't even know. See, that's what I'm saying. Easy, you be knowing after it, man. I say you be, bro. The clips I'm talking about is different from the clips I was talking about with him. He be taking clips from different content creators and putting it on his show like a DJ. The clips I'll be having just be from this show. It's just, you know what I'm saying, based on what happened, the AI do it. So stop it. Yo, what's up with EP and the propaganda, man? I said I would debate Easy. Ain't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? Let me in the chat to the case. Oh, see, I told y'all. When we had a show about
had me running down the street like John. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared. She might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
Come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that.
What he went through, Marble dropped him as soon as the conviction came out. And you were telling the
Hey, you saw that black woman come get his charge cut in half? Thank you, Megan Good. God bless you, coming to save that slave. If he'd had to be there by himself, he was getting all folk. Guilty. She came in there, was just so beautiful, they had to knock half of it off. Bless his heart. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared. She might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
Come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that.
What he went through, Marble dropped him as soon as the conviction came out. And you were telling the
Hey, you saw that black woman come get his charge cut in half? Thank you, Megan Good. God bless you, coming to save that slave. If he'd had to be there by himself, he was getting all folk. Guilty. She came in there, was just so beautiful, they had to knock half of it off. Bless his heart. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan
There
Majors.
you go. Come on, Cam.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act.
Yo, shout to Jai, everything broken there.
Hey,
Shout out.
Breeze. Man, I see you kicking some dust up in here. You like on a mountain by yourself, go up against all the anti-cam guys, man. I gotta give you respect, man, for standing on your mountain, bro. It's not
Yeah,
easy, man.
man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody acting like it's okay because of whoever we just got. No, we didn't get a number 1, 2, or 3 pick. Ain't nobody a prolific scorer like Cam Thomas. None of them. And we wasn't even. And the hurtful part is fans have such a short memory, John. Nobody. We spoke on Yago because we got guys like Dylan and Ice. We've got guys that really scouted these players. You know what I mean? I started calling Ice not Eskimo, but Scout mode. You know what I'm saying? To the work that he was doing.
Eskimo.
You know what I mean? So I feel like, bro, when I was listening to more of it, it wasn't about Yago. We spoke heavily on the top 3 picks, and when we realized we might not get that, we spoke on Derek Queen, Kaman Malamaluwa. Yago was in there, but he wasn't the cream of the crop. When you put him in the mix, he wasn't the one rising to the top of like our number 1 pick. It became interesting, I guess, later on. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that to say enough thing happened in the offseason for us to just, I don't know, scoff at Cam Thomas and what he could bring to this Brooklyn Nets team.
Right. Listen,
I like Ricky Council for so we don't make this all about Cam Thomas. I like Ricky Council. I think he's I watched some of his highlights. It looked like he's, he gets to the rack. He gets to the rim, he could dunk. And I've been in the Barclays. You need a player like that for the fans.
Right.
Tempo with the energy of the building by getting a fast break dunk in the Barclays. It's like that.
Right. And I'm glad we got Ricky Council. We definitely need somebody with athletic ability. I mean, having playmakers is all fine and dandy, but you can't have them just running on the court like Miss Daisy. You need some guys that could actually body to the rim and give you that little extra element you need, especially if you're a young rebuilding team. I feel like we didn't really get that athleticism in the draft besides maybe Drake Powell. So having a young guy like Ricky who wants to fight for a role, try to improve on certain things, I think he'll definitely be a good developmental project. I agree with Ice that he might find some time in the G League. We have over like 19, 20 players right now, so there's definitely got to be some people either let go or sent down to the G League. I definitely think Ricky Council's a guy you go on hold on to and see if he can truly develop and hold down a role. But kind of get to like course correction here a little bit. It's unfortunate the Cam Thomas situation. We're in August now, and we kind of already know what's going on. The front office gave him a 2-year, $28 million contract. Cam believes he's worth $30 million alongside the guys like Tyler Heroes and RJ Barrett's. But, at the end of the day, I think it's unfortunate that the NBA market is dictating Cam's value and the NBA media is kind of overblowing some criticisms. I think some of the criticisms have been warranted, but some have been very overblown. And I think for the Brooklyn front office to stay as quiet as they have, I think it's kind of a little disrespectful to Cam Thomas because they should have had this all planned out already. There was never going to be no market for Cam because the Nets were the only team with cap space this summer. So the fact that they've been so quiet about this, so nonchalant, and just expecting Cam to play ball and take whatever they want to give him, he can just say, I don't want to take the $14 million. I'll take the $6 million qualifying offer. You have to trade me for scraps, and you look like the team with egg on your face. If that happens, which I really right now getting an idea of what's going on, I think Cam is leaning towards a $6 million qualifying offer. He doesn't feel valued. He doesn't feel like he's at least a third option or a 6th man at worst on this team. Why would you want to stay on this team? So if Cam does take that $6 million offer, I think Sean and Joe really screwed this up because you could have maybe gone up to 16 to 17 mil for 2 years. That's not like a lot to give up there financially because we are a $1 billion organization. Even if Cam is an expendable piece, you still want to make him feel like he's valued to an extent. With what's going on this offseason is that they don't make Cam feel valued at all, that he's just basically a bucket scorer that scores and does nothing else. He has worked on little things. I think some people, like you said, Breeze, got to get lost in the sauce on what Cam has worked on. Now, has it been on the level people are expecting? Let's remember, he's 23 years old. The fact that he's so polarizing at 23 is mind-boggling to me personally because there's so many young players in this league that don't get the criticism that Cam is getting right now. And how can you expect Cam Thomas to play winning ball on a team full of rookies and unbalanced players last 3 to 4 years. Nobody in Cam's position could accelerate at the level they all want to be at. So I feel like some of the criticisms have been over the top, but it's just unfortunate the relationship is so fractured right now that if there's a sign and trade before the season starts or he takes the qualifying offer and is likely traded, I wish Cam the best, but I definitely think the front office really showed that they still don't get it. Like, at the end of the day, they're supposed to be the organization that does right by the players. You mentioned a lot of different names, Breeze, of guys they've done right by and guys they haven't done right by, guys that probably should have still been on this team. And now they want to do it to Cam Thomas, where this season is going to be one of the most painful seasons in a long time because there's not going to be winning basketball. A lot of these young guys are going to have to learn how to play and evolve their games, and you have no balance on this team. So,
like,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that because I think that we could be competitive with Jordy Fernandez being a coach that has balance between above and under the 3-point line. I don't want to be long-winded, John. I just want to kind of go to ice. I'm going to read this comment, then we're gonna move around the panel. We're gonna get back to you. Shout out to Rehala 88, a moderator on this page. He said Cam not taking the qualifying offer. If he does, Nets have no obligations to him to give him minutes. They can literally take his minutes and give it to the rookies. He's signing a deal. Maybe he gets 2 years, $32 million. Perhaps. Iceman, talk to us though, man. You see everything going on, man. Cam Thomas and just how overall how they view him. Not even necessarily that, just him as a teammate and what he could bring to the team, opposed to just the contract talk. Because we pretty much on the same page about the contract talk. But how he benefits with a Ricky Council. Say him and Ricky Council is on the floor. What does that look like, Ice? With him and Ricky Council on the floor together.
Him and Ricky Council.
Even though you say you're going to the G League.
Yeah, Ricky Council is a G League guy. He's working his way. We had him on our G League team last year. For folks that didn't know, he was already on the G League team. So the Nets have interest in him. I would say that. Yeah, he was on the G League team. They got him. I think the same time they got Timmy, or a little bit after they got Timmy, he got traded to the Nets and they picked him up or whatever. Second half of the season, he did all right at times down there. He's not consistent, but he is explosive. You know what I'm saying? Lob threat. He can do a little bit of everything. He's just not consistent. But the Nets have a lot of interest in him because this is the second time since he was in the G League, and then they brought him back now to on a little whatever deal it is. I don't know what deal it is. It's probably just for preseason to see if he can make the team or whatever. But they have some interest, so he has something that they like. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the second time they brought him back. So I would say he's kind of like in that Tyrese Martin, Keon Johnson type mode where they see something in you and they want to see if you can work on it. But Cam as a teammate, he's gonna be a good teammate for them. Like, he's a legit scorer. You know what I'm saying? They can learn something from him scoring, and I say they can learn from each other.
But what I'm saying, Ice, don't you think that he could make them look good? Imagine they got 3-4 assists because they passed it to Cam Thomas to catch and shoot. It makes them look good, bro.
If you're talking about assists, yes, but everything else, they got to step up to the plate here. Just can't be a Cam show, No,
but what I'm saying is, if you're looking for playmaking, this is what I'm saying to Ice. If you want them to have assists, if a good game for Diego Dominguez, 8 assists, 14 points, 8 assists, and 2-3 of those assists go to Cam Thomas from a catch and shoot play, he's definitely helping them. You can't tell me that all of the assists is going to come. This is what I don't like, Ice. Is not, and I'm not saying you, is that they make it seem like Cam Thomas, all his points is off ISO. That's a lie. He was getting points off of catch and shoot. Schroeder was getting assists because of him. Every point guard, Ben Simmons, everybody was getting assists because of him, because they passed Cam Thomas the ball and he scored in either one dribble or less. Go ahead, Ice.
Yeah, he gonna make if they passing the ball, he score. Of course, he gonna make them look better. You know what I'm saying? For scoring purposes, and like you could pass Cam the ball, you can get a bucket. But that's what they need. He just opposite from them. That's all. And I see like that matches up. Guys who pass and have high IQ and a guy who scores, you know what I'm saying? On anybody, unstoppable score. Like, you know what I'm saying? Perfect blend. But I say they got to learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? That's all. He a good teammate. I'm not one of the guys that, you know what I'm saying, want Cam traded, nothing like that. But, You know what I'm saying? I think 14, now that I see what's going on the table, just to speak on the money, 14 is too low. They just offered Jonathan 20, you know what I'm saying? And Josh got offered 20. So I think Cam they should step it up and offer something in that range of 18 to 20 as well. You know what I'm saying? That's where most teams don't want to go over the 20 mark. So I think the Nets should be right in that area as well. You know what I mean?
And see, the difference between the Jonathan Kuminga and Cam Thomas is they drafted. This way it makes sense, Ice. You get drafted at 7, you expected a certain money. Especially if you feel like that organization is part of the reason why, you know what I mean, you're not doing as well as you could. 4 years is a long time, you know what I'm saying? And in those first 4 years, they want could the Brooklyn Nets have handled Cam Thomas better? Yes. Should the Brooklyn Nets make the immediate focus given the NBA a new image? You know, this is the way we do things over here. You know, this is, you know, we had bad run-ins with free agents and so on and so forth. But to the guy's point, you know, we take care of our guys. You know, we get these draft players, we draft them into their, you know what I mean, full potential. And you know what I'm saying? That's what we want to be known for. And I think if you're a franchise to have that kind of rapport around the league, talent is going to want to come play with you, not just come get the bag, but come win with you, come play and win with you. You know, it's easy to fall in love with Brooklyn Nets fans. I mean, my thing is give us a chance to fall in love with players. You can't do that by trading them every time it's time to pay them.
Right, please.
Sean, I just want to say this. Mm-hmm. Sean Mark said his religion is winning. Is he following? Is he a man of faith? Is he a man of faith?
I mean, depends of what he does on his Sunday. But you just point out the biggest thing, Breeze. How can we ever be invested in the Brooklyn Nets team if the players aren't invested by the GM and the owner? And that's the problem with this organization the last 9 years. We have constantly reshuffled the deck over and over and over again, and we ain't building no sustainability. Sean Marks and Josiah preach for years. Flexibility, sustainability. Those two words haven't meant a damn thing because you haven't had any sustainable players on your team for 3 to 4 years to build anything significant. I understand why a lot of the Cam Thomas people are so upset because you let this guy go for nothing and he kicks your ass on a different team. Could we maybe have handled the situation differently by investing in him a little bit, by getting better pieces to try to build the skill set up more? The organization's problem is when it comes time to take accountability for those things, they never take accountability. They could say the market dictated this whole thing with Cam, but at the end of the day, you guys put the rosters around this young kid. You had the coaches benching this young kid. Like, as much as everybody wants to pile on Cam, it wasn't just Cam's fault. It was Sean Marks and Joe Desai's fault as well for not giving this kid a fair shake, for not investing in whatsoever, and for putting him on a team where you had to force this issue of on offense. So it's not just Cam's fault at the end of the day. You know, when I thought that this Cam situation would come to this type of way, I would be fully against Cam Thomas. But a part of me doesn't want to be like that because at the end of the day, it's just such a complex issue between Cam and the front office. It's not just Cam's fault. But I also agree at the same time, Cam didn't do himself any favors with some of the things that he said. That he was unguardable. He had nothing to prove. Like, when you're that young and you haven't had that chance to prove your worth, you don't want to have those types of standoffs because it could affect you with your market and with your front office. So it really is blame on both sides, but this front office for being so quiet about it and not trying to find the middle ground like Ice just talked about, 18 and 19 mil for 2 years, that to me is a huge problem. If you can't get a deal done with Cam Thomas, you couldn't get a deal done with James and Kyrie, how can we ever trust this organization to ever build anything on this team if they can't even handle the financials? That is a huge issue, and it's unfortunate it's come to this boiling point. But if the deal isn't done by the mid-end of August, I don't see Cam being on a team past this year. It's just too little too late at this point. And Cam doesn't have to take no $14 million if he doesn't feel valued. And at the end of the day, the only person that's going to have egg on his face is Sean Marks because he didn't make this a more serious goal to get done this offseason. The fact that we still have cap space, the fact that Cam is still unsigned, I didn't expect a rebuilding team to have this much messy issues right now. But this is Sean Marks and Joe Desai we're talking about. So it's very unfortunate that the same issues keep resurfacing no matter if we're contending or rebuilding. And that better damn change after next year's draft, or we ain't building a damn thing in Brooklyn.
Yo, shout to that's DNA just became a new member. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, help me grow the page, man. Throw some comments in the chat. We can make comments. It's the off season, so especially if you're a member on this page, you should know that. If you're a member on this page, you know what I'm saying, you could just throw some comments in the chat and I can read them. That's part of the show. But Ice, talk to us, Ice. Ricky Council, high flyer. Um, do you want to see him get a two-way? You want to see him get minutes? And if he do, over who? Tyrese Martin, Keon Johnson? You want to see him make the roster over these guys, or what?
I don't know. I'm not high on Ricky right now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't watched that much of Ricky Count. It ain't too much to see with Ricky Council, but he got some upside, like the highlight you showed. He make a play, athletic. You know what I'm saying? Like he could score, but he's not consistent. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where to put him at. You know what I'm saying? Between those guys, I wouldn't take him over Reese. I definitely wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But I think he is young though. He probably is like 23 or something like that. 24, I'm not sure, but he's young. But I don't know. He got some upside. He can be exciting. He can be a lob threat. You know what I'm saying? He can come down the lane and dunk on you type. You know what I'm saying? Kind of explosiveness he has. So I don't know. If he's good enough, I wouldn't want him on the team. But over who, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because there's already a problem right now with, as Dylan explained on his podcast, that three of the guys probably going to be off the team. You know what I mean? Because we up to like 19 folks. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know who's going to be on the team anyway.
What about the Clax trade, man? Y'all heard about him in Orlando being interested?
Yeah,
you know, how you feel? Let's go to Ice and then John. I'll go last. How you feel about it?
Yeah, I posted that on Twitter. I posted that on Twitter. I seen it on the gram, saying they said that Clax might be the championship piece missing for them. I found that, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? That's how they feel about Clax around the league. You know what I'm saying? It was I forgot the dude's name. But
what do you think? What do you think about Clax playing weak side help with that kind of defense they already got? What do you think the addition of Clax would look like for Clax himself? Is it good for him, and how will it look for Orlando?
Yeah, it looked good for him.
Like,
next to Franz and next Paulo. If you put them next to Franz and Paulo, that'll look good. They can play defense. They are a defensive team, so he would probably raise their defense a little bit more because, you know what I'm saying, he can play the wing and all that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? He gonna need the weak side help, but yeah, he'll look good on that team. I forget who we got.
I think I seen something about Anthony Black.
Nah, it was Jonathan Isaac and somebody else. It's on my page on Twitter. I don't remember. Jonathan Isaac and somebody else. I think it was
Goga be the dots.
The center. He's all right.
Oh, yeah, he all right. Yeah,
he's all right.
Another international guy makes perfect sense. But
I ain't really mad at that. My thing is the whole draft thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, Brooklyn, even though it is multicultural, don't overlook the national talent entirely. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Right. I agree with you. And for this Claxton deal, listen, I'm open to trading Claxton any team right now. I was open to trading him for Anthony Simons. In this case, with Magic, you want to give me Goga, Isaac, and a pick, I'm down for that. I think after that Mikal sign the other day, everybody's looking at the Knicks being the front runners. If they don't win this season, they're going to be the ones with egg on their face because this is one of those wide open Eastern Conference in a long time. But I definitely think the Magic are a huge dark horse. They got that scorer they need in Desmond Bane. Their front court with Franz, with Paulo and Carter, amazing. Now, are they willing to financially take on Claxton to essentially be a backup to Wendell Carter, or maybe he becomes a starter and Wendell becomes a backup, vice versa? I think that would definitely help the Magic out. They do need another big man, and Claxton is a rim runner, and having a guy like Jalen Suggs and Anthony Black to be playmakers on that team, I definitely think Claxton gives them more of that defensive edge. That could be a lot of trouble for a team like the Knicks. I think if the Magic are a team that the Knicks probably should not want to face in a playoff situation because defensively they can hang, but now they have an offensive piece in Bane that could potentially be a difference maker. And you add Claxton with his rim running, I definitely think that makes the Magic stronger. Do I think he's the last piece to a championship? Hell no. But I think he definitely makes the Magic a little better. It's just, can the Magic stomach him financially? But if we take Goga and Isaac, that definitely helps work out the numbers there. And we get to pick out the deal. I think move off of Claxton. We need to do it because we want to see what Danny Wolf could be, whether it's a 4 or 5. I think we all agree a 5 right now. And you want to see if Dayron could start and what he could develop this year. I feel like with Claxton on his team, we're holding back our big man, which shouldn't be an issue right now. So if Magic want to do this deal at next year's deadline for Clax, I'm all ears and ready to make the move because we need to get Claxton off this team as soon as possible.
What you got on that, Ice?
Yeah.
Ice, you want it to happen, or
do I want it to happen? No, I don't want it to happen. But if it happens, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I don't necessarily want to lose any pieces right now until it's the right time for them to move on. But John's right. You do want to see what Wolf is, a 4 or 5,
right?
And see the way I see it though, you kind of still need another center, even if Clax is off the team. You still need another center. You know what I mean? If you get one back, that's cool. But you know what I'm saying? You got to see what Danny is. But Danny also going to need some time. So I'm not really trying to rush Danny like that either. But you got to figure it out. You got to see what he is. You know what I'm saying? So eventually someone's going to have to move away from the 5 if he is a 5 or if he's a 4, if he's in between, like Timmy, you know what I'm saying, a tweener. You got to figure out what you got with the guys.
Yeah, nah, for me personally, they could only be like Anthony Black, bro. Like, if they try to go to get Anthony Black here, yeah. Other than that, I don't see how I would agree to it because Clax could be great for Danny Wolf, for even, Ben Seraph and Oyego, teaching them how to rebound. You know what I'm saying? Like, he the veteran on this team. He been here for a while. Why y'all want to?
He didn't act like it last year, though, Breeze.
But why? They make it seem like trades is so sexy when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets. Our trades don't be all that. Shout out to JP Liberty. Maybe we need to change things. Instead of trading people, just trying to have a core. Damn, you can never build a core with this team. This the shit that be getting me tight.
No, I agree with you. And
start like you like what does a core mean? That means the fan base gets to see a set of players win and lose together, but get better together, see the progress. We got that with the core 4 with Kenny Atkinson was the head coach. After that, we ain't get that. So we in what it been 2-3 coaches, 4th coaching. You made the fans miss a core players that we could see grow together season after season, and you acting like you know what I mean, playing with fire right now, looking like you're finna to do it again. How much are you entertaining fans by changing players? Like,
no. You're making sense there, Breeze. And it's even hypocritical me to even say trade Clax because I just said Sean Marks' problem is sustainability. But you look at Clax last year, after getting $100 million, I thought he was going to take some leaps. I thought Jordy would be the perfect defensive coach to unlock Claxton on the offensive game. But you just saw a disengaged Claxton for most of the year where he didn't look like he wanted to be there, throwing cushions at refs, fouling up players, throwing fists. Like, you just didn't expect that from a guy who just got gifted $100 million. You thought him and Cam would be the leaders on a team of young guys. Now, especially with this year, Claxton really has to be on his best behavior. You can't have the emotional, technical fouls. If he's going to be on his team, he's got to show these guys the ropes, but also keep himself a professional. If he can't do that, I think there's such a waste of time getting him this money because, like you said, Breeze, culture is important, sustainability. But Claxton last year looked like he wanted to be on anywhere but this team. That's why I think me and Ice and other people are so open to it because you want guys that want to be involved from day one and that want to be there in the long run. The only problem with Claxton is he's offensively gotten worse as he's getting older, and he's going to be 26 this year, so he's a year away from his prime. He is not a great player without either a playmaker doing a lot of work for him or having stars on the team. Having a very young team, I don't know if having playmakers is going to make Claxton's offense any better or worse. So I feel like his value is at a certain point right now where you got to think about moving off him because if he's on his team and he gets even worse, we're just stuck with him, Breeze, and I don't think that's good long term if he's not engaged.
What I'm saying is they never invested in Clax for the midi and for the 3, and that's Brooklyn. That's player development part that I'm talking about.
Right.
So he was never supposed to be the anchor. You mismanaging Claxton, making him the anchor of the defense. You taking away from what he's supposed to do. You putting heavy emphasis on player development and going away from everything that he good at, and that's wrong. Focus on what they good at first, and then work their way different parts of their game. Work it into their game. You trying to take away everything. That same thing they did with Cam Thomas. Like, oh yeah, you great at shooting the mid. Now shoot the 3-pointer. 8 out of 10 times. Like, it's crazy. It's not good player development. So maybe we should be looking at the, you know what I mean, further into the situation, unpacking, and not just looking at the stats, but looking at why it happened in the first place. I really be trying to study the game, man. Really trying to study the game. So I'm gonna say no. I don't think we should trade Clax to the Magic. I think Cam Thomas impact winning. I'm finna look at the preseason schedule. I heard we playing Israel or some shit like that. What y'all think about the preseason?
Yeah. Keeps up with the international theme, right? This is why the Cam Thomas thing needs to get done very soon, because they have a rigorous preseason schedule playing against the Israel team. And then they're going to China for 2 games of the travel. That's going to be, very enduring. So, like, you want to be able to have this stuff situated so these guys could get ready for a journey, their preseason schedule, so they could get to bond with each other and kind of understand how each other are going to play during a very tough year. Like, this is definitely going to be a grind of a preseason. And they're playing the Raptors to end it, going to Toronto. So, like, I wish a lot of this stuff was done already, but the fact that it's not, it makes you wonder who's going to be locked in and engaged during what's going to be a little arduous preseason play. But it definitely continues that international theme that Jordy, Sean, and Joe are trying to create. And Joe Desai's the one that got this China relation stuff back after Morey kind of put the kibosh on it. So it'll be interesting to see what type of experience the Nets get from this. But I will say this, though, Breeze, I'm very upset that the NBA wants us to do preseason international games when the Brooklyn Nets are one of the most popular international teams in the league, and you don't have the Nets playing an international game this year in a different country. I thought that was a huge wasted opportunity. I don't care what roster the team has. The Nets have an international roster that definitely could have got a good buzz during the regular season. So I feel like that was a mistake.
What you got on it, Ice?
Yo, I'm ready for preseason right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see what these young dudes worked on. I'm trying to see what everybody worked on, to be honest, and who worked hard enough to make the team. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see all that. I don't mind the international. They've been doing that for the last 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? They just they trying to expand the brand and have, you know what I'm saying? See what the other teams look like playing against a NBA team. If you know what I'm saying? Like, I heard. Well, I ain't gonna say I heard that, but they trying to see where they players at. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Can y'all match up with it? How good are we in our league? This is like our best team or whatever the case may be, and we bring it over there and see how we match up against. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? They get blown out. They see how talented the NBA players really are. And you might have a Noah Senge stand out, you know what I'm saying? And you might be like, oh yeah, he's one of the guys that might, you know what I'm saying? Or a Hanson Yang who played against the NBA as well. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You start, that's how you start scouting. You start seeing guys, you know what I'm saying, from other teams or in other countries or whatever come over, and now you can spot talent when you see it, like, oh, he might be able to play over here. You know what I'm saying? That's how they got noticed. They probably got noticed before that from the scouts, but watching an NBA preseason and you see a Noah Senge, and you're like, hold on, who is this dude? He giving us buckets, you know what I'm saying? He giving us work. That's how you start scouting like that. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll see. I just want the talent to be up to par. You just going over there just to say hi, and I get it. But I think the basketball NBA doesn't need help with drawing fans. But yeah, I see it as a money play, and if they do it, yeah, do it in the preseason. You know what I mean? Go ahead, do it. You know what I'm saying? Do it. But in the regular season, I think like you're doing a lot with that. You know what I mean? Like, if y'all want to be really interested, throw them in the play-in. You know, throw their best team in the play-in, not the play-in, the end season tournament. Throw them in the end season tournament. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I just think that us playing the Suns in this preseason game, I think we get to see Malawat. Did Malawat go to the Suns?
Maybe that would be interesting.
Yeah,
he did.
You know, Rasheed Fleming.
Okay,
my gosh, I'm so upset about that.
See,
yeah, Rasheed's on there too. Yep.
What you expect from Rasheed Fleming and Malawat? Ice.
Malawat gonna play all right. I'm not sure what to expect from Rasheed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where he's at right now, as far as You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I seen him in the summer league. I don't remember. So, you know what I'm saying? Just see where guys at, what they doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect too much. I probably give you like 12 points or something. You know what I mean? Just to see other guys, what they gonna do on the team that they got drafted to. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. I'm more ready to see our guys, you know what I'm saying, stand out. So you see who gonna stand out for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like my thing is, I'm not really interested in seeing Diego become a point forward in immediate. Show me you're a point guard. Before you develop into a point forward, we drafted you be a point guard. Be a point guard. Do that first. And yeah, I know they want to run Nolan at the point and him at the point forward. I get it. Do that. Do it. But find time for Diego to be the point. Don't make it seem like they're gonna prioritize him as the point forward over the point guard. No. Let Nolan Traore come off of the bench. You feel what I'm saying? There's no way you're gonna start all of these 5 first rounders. Did y'all think that was gonna happen? Y'all want all of the first rounders to be in the starting lineup?
Nah. Diego is the only one expected to start. That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless somebody
more than anything, not the point forward.
Unless somebody really shows out, you know what I mean? Like that's it. Somebody will really have to show out, you know what I mean? To take somebody's spot, but I don't think that they're not there. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Jaeger's the only one expected. I even posted, they had an article saying he is the one that the only one that they think is supposed to start or is going to start for the net as a rookie.
Yeah.
JP Liberty said, I want to see Drake Powell suit up. How y'all feel about Drake Powell?
A lot of potential. I think defensively, he could be one of our best projects. I think offensively, he's got a lot to work on. But the defense, I said that I had no problem drafting him in like the middle end of our draft because I think he's that perfect defensive pest that Jordy's looking for. So I think it'll be a great investment. I just hope he plays a lot during the regular season, not just be sent to the G League for most of the season.
Yeah, me too. I want to see him play 2 guard more than small forward too. Everybody keeps saying he is small forward, but I really want to see him with 2 guard play more than that. You know what I mean?
He can play both, but here's my take. It's a hot take. I think he's gonna get Keon to run for his money.
Take Keon's job, bro. Forget that.
He's gonna get Keon a run for his money. You know what I'm saying? Keon runs 2 guard. Here's my thing. The way they got it, they got point guard. So Keon, you know what I'm saying, he can run point, but they use him as a scoring guard. If they use Cam and Powell as a 2 guard, then you know what I'm saying, and Powell's a defensive guy. Keon is, you know what I'm saying, he probably gonna knock Keon out of that. If he suits up, that's just my take. He gonna need some work too. He's still young. Get his offensive game together, but defensive wise, the way he plays, Keon might be out of a, you know what I'm saying, out of a roster spot if he performs.
That's realistic because he's taller than Keon Johnson, right?
Yeah, he's 6'6".
And he's a POA defender, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that's not a. I think that's a good take. Dog. That's not a bad take. Again, I think Drake Powell, somebody like him who didn't really get a lot of minutes. I think he was coming off the bench in North Carolina, right?
Yep.
See what I'm saying? He gonna value those minutes. He's somebody like my thing is I think they should move away from Dariq Whitehead. Honestly.
This is a big year
I
for
don't see it in Dariq Whitehead. I ain't confident in this game.
You gotta be healthy. You gotta be healthy.
Yeah, to John's point, he got, what is this, his 3rd year? He got, I think this about to be his last, either this year or next year, to show what he has. You know what I'm saying? If he got back to himself, this would be the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because after this, he might be out of a roster spot too. You know what I'm saying? He might lose. They might just trade him, or you know what I'm saying, G League him, or let him go, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? His time might be running out. So he got to show up this year.
He's got to be healthy for sure. I thought, though, drafting 5 rookies was kind of like part one of the end of his time with the Nets because he's definitely got to show more than just shooting threes. I thought the shooting threes thing was fine, but the interior game, that's what he was known for. If he can't refigure that out, it's almost like a TJ Warren situation I'm looking at, and that's very unfortunate for Whitehead, who's still very young, but you're now fighting with a bunch of people. I'm calling this team now not just the Brooklyn League of Nations. This is the BKNY Hunger Games squad right here. Everybody's fighting for a role, so if you ain't ready to fight from day one this season, you're likely not going to have a role by the end of the season. So I think Whitehead's definitely going to be on the bubble for sure. He's got to show he can be
Yeah, it's
healthy.
like when I looked up his stats, he only had 3 points versus the Knicks. I say trade him just because of that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to do that.
Yeah, he's another one. Spend time in the G. And he just need to get back to himself if he can. You know what I'm saying? Like John said, if he can't get his legs back out of the rim, bro, he's most likely, you know what I'm saying, all he got to offer is 3-point shooting.
Right.
And that's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? He got to be explosive like he was. He got to be able to create like he used to, step back off the dribble, pull ups. You know what I'm saying? Like he got to get his full game back. Him not being able to elevate, that's almost like, you know what I'm saying, been having surgery. It's like the same thing. Like you lost that bounce and explosiveness, and that took away from some of your game. You know what I'm saying? He trying to work, he trying to get it back, but we got to see if he does.
Yep.
And Frank Onward said, I can't believe you guys bailed out the Denver Nuggets. What you mean? Why you got all those exclamation points? You trying to say MPJ is trash?
Breeze, I got to say with Frankie, listen, Michael Porter Jr. won a championship. Cam Johnson couldn't even hold a spot in the finals because there was somebody ahead of him. Even on this team, he finally peaked at 28 years old. I think some people are really overblowing saying that the Nuggets won that trade. At the end of the day, Johnson's now a 4th option on that team. He shoots threes. He's not going to do this individual offense he was doing on a bad team like the Nets. He's mostly going to shoot threes, whereas Michael Porter Jr. is actually going to expand his role, kind of like CJ did, but try to maybe potentially help the Nets recruit a star in the future. Cam Johnson, he's not going to be this imaginary player that's going to just yield the Nuggets to a championship. At the end of the day, that team runs through Nikola and Murray. Cam Johnson, if he can't even shoot threes right, he's not going to make them a championship team overnight. That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah, listen, man. I'm looking at his stats. Trade Derek Whitehead, man. Y'all want to hear Big Fan Breezy trade package? Oh shit! Y'all don't want me to start coming out with some trade packages. I ain't gonna like my trade packages. You know
Whitehead?
what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I'm trading Derek Whitehead
For a second round pick? That's generous at this point.
Yeah, I'm trading Derek Whitehead. Trade him. You know, where they can work out the specifics. You know, trade him to a team that needs scoring. That way he could let it fly behind the 3-point line. I don't know necessarily who. You know what I'm saying? But I think, you know, he should don't just focus on his relations. I know, you know, Sean Marks like to do a lot of things with the Suns. Just, you know, the Spurs. I see working with Philly. He working with Philly, but I just want to see, you know, him work around the league a little more, you know what I mean? And focus on players who that play basketball inside the 3-point line.
Definitely agree. Ice, you there?
Yeah. Say it again.
Yeah, Ice, here's a question. What do you expect from Tyrese Martin this year? Like, what role do you see him? He's kind of like one of the slightly older guys on the team, even though he's still relatively pretty young. What role do you see for him this year? Like, his contract, I think, is not guaranteed, though. So, you think he's going to hold down a role?
He has no choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't really got a choice, bro. Yeah, his contract isn't guaranteed. They have to stay on the roster. If he makes the roster, he has to stay on the roster through January, and then his contract becomes regular. But yo, I hope he make it. I seen him workout videos so far. He's been the only guy on the Nets that I've seen a workout video from. I seen a little bit of Jalen Wilson's, but he's been working on off the dribble, creating and being explosive in the lanes. You know what I'm saying? Shooting three. So he working on all stuff like that, off the dribble stuff. And that's what he needed to do. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just catch and shoot, even though they try to run him as a point guard. That didn't work, but you know what I'm saying? He need to expand. He's older, so he got to expand his game so at least he can stay in the league. You know what I mean?
I
So
definitely agree. And,
yeah,
and Noah Clowney as well. That's another storyline people want to look at. I know some people are ready to kind of move off of, Derek, Wilson, maybe Clowney, but, I feel like Clowney was on some type of trajectory before he got hurt with the ankle injury a few times. I feel like the 3-point he got better at slightly, but the defense, we didn't see a lot of that. We didn't see a lot of individual offense on his part. We saw little flashes. Like for Clowney this year especially, how important you think it is for him to kind of establish a role. I don't even know what his role is right now. He could be maybe a backup 4 if Wolf goes to the 5. Like, how important of the season is this for Clowney as well? Because he really has to kind of put it all together to show that he's worthy of a spot on this team. Like, where do you think his role is at right now?
yeah, Clowney. I think now that we got Wolf, he might just stay at the 4. I don't think you know what I'm saying. I think they more likely for him to get comfortable at the 4 instead of switching them to the 5, or they might still use him at less times than they did last year at the 5 and keep him at the 4. But I think for Clowney, he has to his ball, his dribbling has to improve. He got to be able to create for himself and get down the lane and show that he, you know what I'm saying, he can do more than just catch and shoot as well, because the team is moving that way. You know what I'm saying? You got 5 guys who can move the ball, and you know what I'm saying, you trying to learn how to dribble right now. You're shooting, like you said, improve. But other than that, and your defense kind of took a step back because they kept messing with you, being back and forth. He said it was difficult for him to figure out at times, you know what I'm saying, because he got to remember what position he's playing in guard who and what role, you know what I'm saying, where the switch is at,
right.
and what to. So that was confusing, but you know what I'm saying, his all-around game got to step up because he got Zaire in front of him. I think Zaire is in front of Clowney, you know what I'm saying? So if Zaire is in front of him, he got to step his game up too, because competition about to be crazy in Summer League with almost 20 guys coming in to compete, even though he has a contract. But you know what I'm saying? Like his playing time could be diminished by guys who's more ready than him.
I agree with you. It's like I'm going to say, it's the BKNY Hunger Squad, man.
Let me add to that. Yeah, Clowney, they was letting him fly behind the 3-point line. If you used to look at his shot selection, bro, you're going to see more of his shots came behind the 3-point line than as you can see. When I pull up his stats, he got 8 field goals per game, and he shot 5 3-pointers, close to 6 3-pointers per game. So my thing is, you want Clowney to be effective, change up his shot selection. Get him at the rim with a alley-oop or a little lob, maybe one dribble to the dunk. Given those situations where you make the defense respect that he could go inside out or he could go outside in. Put Clowney in a better situation. But I don't think they should give up on Clowney. I don't feel the same way that I do about him and Derek Whitehead. I want to see Clowney get more minutes. Derek Whitehead, I'm ready to move on. Him, Wilson, like you said, John was spot on. Wilson, Derek Whitehead, and who was the other one? There's some others.
Tyrese Martin. You mentioned Martin. Talk about Martin a bit.
Yeah, Martin, Keon.
Yeah, Keon, because of Drake Powell. I believe in Ice Take. I think Drake Powell is known for his perimeter defense, and us getting beat a lot last season with Jordy Fernandez being a coach at the 3-point line. You need a POA defender, somebody that plays above the 3-point line without foul. Know how to come around that screen. They throw that screen. Know how to come around and skate foul they made. Make them play under the 3-point line, even when they want to play above the 3-point line, chase off the 3-point line, contest the 3-point shot. I think we get that a lot in Drake Powell, and I want to see him get minutes. I want to see, no doubt. I got respect for you big guys. You know what I mean? But even Tyrese Martin got to go. You know what I'm saying? Trade him too. You know what I mean? Don't let him be in front of Drake Powell. Let him be in front of Drake Powell and Nolan Troyard. You know what I mean?
They definitely got to figure out this roster jumble they got going on right now, because the problem with keeping Claxton now is Dayron's essentially the backup. Now at the 4, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Danny Wolf or is it going to be Clowney? Like, if Claxton's off this team, you could start Sharp have Wolf be his backup, and then you have Clowney come off the bench to be the 4. But the problem is now with Claxton on the team still, he's the 5, Day runs the backup, and then you have Wolf and Clowney fight for the 4. I think what they might do, because Clowney this year is very important for him, they might have Wolf play a good amount of time in the G League so Clowney couldn't fight for a role to see if he has a future on this team, because they don't have to really rush Danny Wolf's development his first year. That's what I think they do. I think they give like Clowney a runway the first few months to see what he can truly do. And if he doesn't, show that he really is a cornerstone guy, they might maybe send him down or trade him or something like that, and then bring up Wolf to kind of be that backup 4 or 5 at this point. I think that's what they're going to do, because you have a jumble right now, and I think Jordy and the organization have to figure out who's going to the G League, who's not on this team, and who is going to be on this team. There's still a lot of indecisions there that are probably going to be figured out in training camp, like Ice just talked about.
But the truth is that Wolf got to learn how to fight over picks, in my opinion, on the defensive side.
Right.
I don't think he's an anchor. He should get help on the block. But if they run in the same play, I think Noah Clowney and Danny Wolf will shoot at the same clip, same percentage. But if they run in the same play on defense, I think Noah Clowney is a better weak side help defender. So you might have that advantage over Wolf but they not versus each other, in my opinion. They on the same team. They can help each other. Wolf definitely can learn how to go under or over the pick, watching and over Clowney, watching and then Claxton. More of it than Claxton and Clowney. And hopefully these guys know that the game is mental too. Of course you want to be entertained, but entertainment, in my opinion, is smart basketball too.
Agree.
I expect that from these international players. That is that they setting the bar so high about how they play the game. So let's keep it there. I didn't put it there; it was there. So let's keep it there. Right? They close the gap. Let's see how they play under the screen. Let's see them play smart basketball with high IQ. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is what happens in the rebuild. You keep some players, you don't keep some players. Now, I gotta say, Sean Marks gonna make the decision contingent on who come and have Modelos with you after work. Don't make it about hot character. I'm still hey, you not coming on me to the bar because you going home to play the game. What you gonna play 2K? All you do is eat, sleep, basketball. That's what you do. You live basketball. Yeah, you ain't gotta hang out with the guys. Go do you. Don't make who on this roster contingent on them sipping Modelos with you. So yeah, I care about the high character because I care about the professionalism. These are professional athletes we watching. Not to the point where you gotta be all buddy. Come there to win. We ain't gotta be the best of friends. Come there to win.
You need the talent. You could give me high character all day and night like that. That's all fine and dandy, but that's what ultimately wins championships. Talent. Pacers OKC had the talent. They had some good character guys, most definitely, but you had the balance of pieces. This team right now, currently constructed, is so imbalanced that some people are trying to say, oh, it's very balanced. These young guys are going to help each other. No, we don't have an actual center. We don't have an actual power forward. Now our scoring guard, this organization doesn't like. And we don't even know who our point guard is going to be. I thought Jaeger was going to be that guy, but now they want him to be a wing playmaker that's going to be a 3 and a combo of a 1. No, he's supposed to be the 1. There is so much indecision on what roles are on this team. I understand this positionless basketball is something that the league now kind of wants to do more of, but you need roles for a reason. Ultimately, you need a center, you need a scoring guard, you need a point guard. Like you always say, Breeze, you need 2 shot creators on the court at all times. Very important. You also need a strong front court. We don't have a lot of those things right now, and this is going to be a very tough-ass season. But what I do hope we get from this season is we kind of figure out what this core is going to be. Right now, we just have 19 to 20 guys on this roster all fighting for spots, all fighting for something, and that's great. Competition creates diamonds, now and then, and I hope that there are definitely some diamonds that come out of this, but there's definitely going to be some guys that are going to get X'd out. It's unfortunate, but it's a business. And I feel like the Cam Thomas thing should have been done already. I'd rather Cam be at Summer League with these young guys trying to create some chemistry or something. And that's still undecided. And it's just an unfortunate situation that him and the front office are in. And hopefully they get settled soon. But there definitely is this underlying lack of chemistry and cohesion, even in this rebuild setting that's not taking place. And I feel like you need those things, the fundamentals, before you can focus on contending or trying to build a championship. And Sean Marks and Joe are supposed to be the guys of culture. I haven't seen it the last few years, so hopefully that changes. But there's a lot of problems within this front office that I think they're not even willing to admit, and they just want to use Cam as a scapegoat to hide their weaknesses a bit there as well.
Yo, Easy, what up, Easy?
Easy.
Give him a minute.
Get that chopped cheese.
Put in a second order, bro. Yeah, I mean,
Don't forget about me. Tell him pepper jack, onions, peppers.
Ooh.
I wanted to ask Easy about the Orlando joint. Like, do you want
You see, niggas love eating the cheese, my nigga. That's what's going on, son. Niggas love eating the cheese. So I already told you, bro. That's for the rats. I eat bread. That's what's going on here, man. What's the word though, yo? What's the word though, yo?
Wonder bread?
Nah, just the shit that keep you full. You feel me?
I thought she was gonna say cocoa bread.
All right, you see now. Okay. We gonna walk by that. We gonna walk by that. We gonna just walk on right by that right there.
Yo, but hold on. You want to keep Clax? They talk about him going to Orlando. How you feel about it?
Man, I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. Y'all keep Brooklyn Nets talk alive, boy, because some shit just not worth talking about, but y'all give it some airway, my nigga. I ain't gonna hold y'all, son. So I ain't gonna lie. I came up here off rip to salute some of y'all, yo. People that's on the panel, people that's not on the panel, because y'all keep this shit alive. Niggas could throw fucking shit at the wall and y'all still gonna entertain that monkey shit that's dripping off the fucking wall, yo. So I salute y'all for even entertaining shit. Yo, bro. Real quick, right? Real quick. Let me put the spliff down real quick, yo. Miles Turner from the Indiana Pacers was on the fucking moving block from damn near 2020, son. Them niggas wanted to get rid of him, had him on the trading block, kept on talking about him. You know what I noticed about the fans? They start giving a fuck after 2 years. Yo, y'all niggas been talking about moving Claxton his whole career. Let it go. If it happens, it happens, my nigga. Y'all gotta let some shit go, dog.
nah, but this is from the Orlando side now. Like this ain't from the net side. This is from Orlando. You know what I'm saying? Eyeing somebody on our team. So, you know what I'm saying? We just, you know what I'm saying, chopping it up. It ain't.
We heard that about Memphis, though. We heard that about Memphis. We heard Trae Young make a bid for Clax. Like, we heard this from other teams. Like, at this point, it's air at this point on ice. I'm not
any
trying.
and everything Brooklyn Nets we on top of.
Hold on. So
wait. Hold on. But ice. Hear what I'm saying, though. I'm not discrediting like chopping up about. I'm saying this is just airplay. People just putting people names in the air just to catch some traction. I don't even care about that at this point because look how many times we put this kid name in the air and nothing has happened.
Right. Like, so I'm gonna ask you this, Easy. How valuable is Claxton? Because everybody talking about him, like you said, his name been for years, and now Orlando being like a playoff type team looking to get somewhere, and they talking about Clax could be their missing piece. You know what I mean? So. Are Nets fans not looking at Claxton in the right light or what? You know what I mean?
No. Here it is, Ice, because at the same I wouldn't even just say two things, but a lot of things could be happening at the same time. Some things that we can't even see with our own naked eye and our naked ear. Pause. But a team could be saying this guy could be our missing piece, but that could be the propaganda and the narrative that they're throwing just so they can create some leverage to get that player on their team. It might not necessarily be the missing piece, but that could be a piece into the foundation that they're trying to build and the place that they're trying to go. At the same time, too, all because we have Claxton on this team doesn't mean he can't go to a different team and be utilized in a different way that looks completely different than how he's being used on Brooklyn. More times than not, you try to trade for a player and put him in the same position he was in his previous destination on your team so you can maximize the talents. but every player is different. We see what the maximization of him over here looks like. Meanwhile, other teams have different dynamics they could throw out there and put him in that he could maximize and see different outlooks of his talent. What I'm saying is different teams have different constructions. So Claxton going to look different on different teams. Claxton can't look the same on Atlanta that he would on Memphis, that he would on Indiana, that he would on the Kings, that he would on Orlando. All those 5 teams I just named, he will have a different role in those teams. But the one thing that would be portable would be his defense. You can't put him in a lineup with defense. So that would be the portable thing.
I mean, Orlando got all the defense. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to stifle. You know, that they are what the East is known for: physicality, defense. The West is known for running, gun, a fast-paced offense. Better said. And
you can't say that. You can't say that.
Yeah, I can say that. Hell yeah, I can say that.
Wait.
Conference, for the most part, always was a better offensive conference than in the Eastern Conference was a defensive conference.
Okay, so I disagree 110%, bro. 100,000%, bro. Because at that point, we just not looking at teams, bro. We really not looking at teams. We really not focusing on where we really need to focus on. We just seen high octane and star players going over to one section, and that's what we call an offense. Denver has one of the slowest offenses in the league, and that was the team that could have got to the finals. They're not a high, fast octane offense. Minnesota kind of in the same branch. They're not a high, fast-paced octane offense. Yo, OKC in some points, if they can't get the turnovers on transition, they're not a high, fast-paced octane offense. So throwing that message out there, throwing that narrative out there is crazy. We have to look at teams. Celtics, they are a fast-paced team offense. They're going to get up threes quickly, and they're going to lock you down to defense, even though they have principles that they won't break on defense. Bro, OKC, one of the best defensive teams that we've seen in this decade, is on the West. Like, that narrative does not fit, bro. It doesn't quit.
No, I think you were giving some good points there, Ease. And I would say this with Claxton, if you want to best utilize him, you definitely want him on a speedier team, because once you slow Claxton down, his weaknesses get easily magnified. And I don't know who the Nets really will trade him to. I think, Magic, I've heard Boston, I've heard Memphis. At the end of the day, if you could get me back a pick and matching salary, I'm fine as dandy about that. It's just, I think Easy, the problem, you mentioned Miles Turner too for comparison. Turner did evolve his game over the years. He started hitting the 3 a lot more. Claxton, he came into the league as an offensive player, but I think ever since he tore his labrum, the offense has just never been the same with Claxton. And he's, like I said, he's going to be 27 a year from now, entering his prime and offensively getting bad every year. I just think our timeline and his don't add up. And if you don't trade him sooner, you're kind of just stuck with dead money, and you just let his contract expire the next 2 to 3 years, however long it is, which I think would be a bad use of an asset. Like I said, he seems his value has increased to some teams who feel like they could use his defense, but offensively, you already know you're not getting much from Claxton unless you have an all-star point guard or a star or two with them. And I think that's that you have to weigh both those pros and cons with Claxton's game.
But John, I don't think it's dead money, because number one, we still, even though we drafted Danny Wolf, that doesn't mean we have a decent, competent big man in our place. So he could still be our placeholder. So off that right there, him being a placeholder is not dead money right there. So he could just be a bridgeway to if Danny Wolf develops, so we could get another big man into our spot. So he could just be a bridgeway gap. At the same time, too. And we've been talking about this, and I've been asking people, and I asked this about probably like 2 seasons ago, maybe 1 season ago, wouldn't Claxton look better around playmakers? Everybody said, yeah, if you put him with a Trae Young or something like that, he'll look good. I mean, at this point, everybody been telling me we drafted a whole bunch of playmakers that could move the ball. So, essentially, with that understanding right there, the thing that connects to that understanding would be Claxton would improve from this playmaking, right? So, I mean, I wouldn't say dead money, and I wouldn't say I wouldn't put it as like a person that's riding or just wasting a spot on this team. I think he serves a purpose for the time that we in right now. I know people want to upgrade and get better and see bullshit moves and say, why you doing bullshit moves? But certain things you just got to accept, bro. Like, Let me ask you this then. And I'll ask John this, and I'll branch it to everybody else. But I want to ask John this. Two-part question. Do you see Claxton value upgrading this season? And if it does upgrade, don't you think that would have been a good move to keep him?
That's a very good question. Listen, I think for Claxton, this is the year to upgrade his value. And like you said, you have all these playmakers now. Like, they should be able to get him at least 8 to 10 lobs a night. And if Claxton could be, I guess, your third or fourth scorer somehow on this team, that definitely magnifies his value and maybe makes him a trade chip in next year's deadline to teams like Magic, Boston, and so on. Maybe that definitely could work for the Nets' advantage. But let's say his value does rise and they do want to keep him. Maybe that whole narrative about Claxton changes. But my thing is this: can Claxton keep his attitude in check? Because you saw the outburst last year, Ease. Didn't expect the guy who got gifted $100 million, no accolades to his name, to just be so erratic with all the technical fouls and emotional shit like that. Like, you're supposed to be one of the leaders. And if Claxton could show me the maturity this year and help these young guys grow their games, well, like you said, him raising his value up, I think that's the best win-win scenario with Claxton, because it gives the Nets optionality with the trade market with his value, or if they want to keep him, let's say. But I wouldn't go with keeping him just because you have Wolf, you have Dayron, you have guys that really do want to grow their games and develop. And with Claxton being a placeholder, it kind of holds those guys back at the meantime. And I just feel like the Nets, we need to start really building up our guys. And I feel like Claxton has hit that ceiling where he's at, but I do hope his value can go up this year somehow with playmakers. But if it doesn't, you're kind of just stuck with what you're stuck with Claxton's value, and just have to hope at a point a team would want to take him once he's near towards an expiring salary.
Yeah.
But I definitely would hope he could improve his value this year. I agree with you on that.
I just wanted to read this. This is by Pat Bev. He said, people don't understand playing in the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference, more possessions. Western Conference, the pace is way more faster. Beverly said on his Pat Bev podcast with Ron, the competition was always, you feel me? When I was in the West, Sacramento was trash, but they could give you a run for your money. So all I was saying is that the Western Conference, and Pat Bev is kind of saying the same thing, is faster than the Eastern Conference.
Bro,
you know
what
I'm saying?
the fuck? Nigga got a quote from Pat Bev to fucking justify his shit right here, my nigga. Oh my god, my nigga. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god.
Hold on. He played in both conferences. You trying to say Pat Bev?
What he talking about was his stint with the Lakers at the time. That trash ass team that couldn't get shit started because they had a whole bunch of old niggas that couldn't run up the court. At that time, that was a whole different type of league than what we're in right now. So him even bringing that shit up and you try to justify god damn.
Justified. It feel like it's justified.
Bro. Ice, you see what I'm saying, my nigga? Come on.
Bro, this seems just Let's say we had a stomach. Let's just ask Joey. Joey BK, he ain't got no dog in this fight. He gonna call it straight down the middle. Is it notoriously known that the West is a faster paced game and the Eastern Conference is a more physical, slower paced game?
Yeah, I ain't got no dog in this fight, man. Y'all both my homies, but Breeze is right. The East always been slower, more physical. Not saying that they don't have teams that could get up and down the court in the East. But the East is more physical. They like to slow the game down. They play a little bit more defense, and the West is run and gun. It's always been like that. They run and gun, and like you said, with pace, and they try to run the score up on you. So,
but Joey, real quick, Breeze could quickly debunk this right now. All he has to go to is pace for every team in the league this year. That's all you have to go to.
That's a good point, East. That's a good point.
So who has the Indiana?
No.
I'm gonna go to the stat.
Indiana should be one of the teams that's up there in pace. But hear what I'm saying though, Joey. I'm not trying to relegate how play styles are being had between conferences. I'm looking at teams separately. All because the Kings and the Warriors, and I don't even want to keep on going down the list, but these teams that have a high pace, I'm not going to relegate a whole conference to fast pace.
But Breeze, we know there's anomalies in each conference, but for the general consensus, that's how it is. That's what he's saying.
Right, the general consensus. Of course, you could exclusively pick teams and say, well, not this team or not that team. Yeah, but I'm talking about in general on how the game has been played notoriously.
I just think there's more trash teams in the East. So they have to figure more things out, and their offense is clunky. But once they get rolling, it starts to roll. So I don't agree with that. I just think he talking about trash teams right there, because more times than not, the trash teams are more in the East. So they're gonna have more things to figure out. Our offense is not as fast as Portland offense. But Portland is a bottom feeder team, just like how we are a bottom feeder team. But they have more things figured out because they have, quote unquote, more talent than us, more time, more chemistry, and things of that nature. But I don't think it's more say so. Okay, the East plays a slow style and the West plays a up fast tempo style. No, I'm gonna look at the teams individually.
We're gonna look at it. And another stat that's specific is the transition points. You know, the points, and that's why the fast pace is kind of like faster, smarter basketball, because it's the transition points, bro. Everything isn't scored in a half court, drawing up a X's and O's, bro. No, you scoring because you getting past the defense before they can even set up. That's part of basketball.
If anything, I second my nigga P1 comment right here. If anything, I would say the West is more physical. OKC, Wolves, Denver are more physical than any team in the East. I 1000% agree. No team in the East could have dealt with that physicality that Denver was hitting fucking OKC with at the time. And even then, I could take it back a year back. That physicality that Jokic was going through in that Memphis 7-game series, no team in the East could replicate that. But if you listen to Bat Bev, East play a kind of slow style, so they're more physical. Tell me who the physical niggas over there other than Giannis and Embiid.
Oh, okay, easy. But I'm going to push back on that because we got to understand. You brought up a specific tenure. You're talking about the playoffs. In the playoffs, everybody's physical. Everybody's going extra hard. Everybody's playing defense. But when you look at it, when you look at it throughout the season, they're not doing that. They're not playing like that, bro. I'm not saying they're not being physical, but what I'm saying is they turn it on. They turn their physicality up a notch in the playoffs. Everybody knows that. Am I bugging?
I mean, you could say that with every team, but me personally, I was talking about straight regular season too. I mean, we could put the postseason. I'm including postseason within it too, but at the time, I'm talking about straight regular season. Even in the regular season, like.
Hold on. I can see this conversation out low. If y'all want a part two, I could probably do another hour. But I just wanted to get to this so easy. He asked for this, and this is what it is. Now we're gonna go West teams and East teams. This is the stats. So the goal is to have the fastest pace in the league. So it goes from fastest pace. So we got 1 West team, 2 West teams, 3 West teams, 4 West teams, 5 West teams, 6 West teams. We got 6 West teams before we get to Eastern Conference team. Wizards, then the Celtics, then again 9th. West team, 10th, West team. Bro, it's obvious to see in the top 10.
Bro, calm down.
The top 10. The top 10.
Bro, don't throw a stat at me if you don't know how to read it. Hold on. Don't throw a stat at me if you don't know how to read it. Calm down. Hold on. Like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight.
In the league.
I don't have a dog in the fight either. We talking about shit right now, right? We talking about hoops. If we look at it right now, just look at how the separation and then look at the teams that's in it, because you're just looking at West teams. Look at the team that's within it. Because I see Wizards right here as one of the fastest pace, my nigga. That's a bad team right there.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's more.
I'm looking at the Clippers with a fast-paced team right there, but we know Clippers got a bad offense, right? So you see, but we know Clippers got a great defense, right? So it immediately bunks that point right there, right? That's what I'm saying right there. No, but here's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying right there. You can't. Me personally, I'm not gonna regulate a whole conference to just one style of play, especially when I see them play.
I think we mixing up two things though. We can't just say physicality and defense is two different things, bro.
No.
What I'm saying is just because your team plays good defense don't mean they're a physical team.
You don't think Clippers is a physical team?
I mean, they are to an extent, but what I'm saying, just because you play good defense don't mean you're a physical team. If you're a physical team, both ends of the floor. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I get that, Joey. I get that, but I'm talking about the teams that's in the West that play good defense, that are physical, that doesn't emphasize everything around their offense. So Clippers fall into that bracket.
We gotta have
they
the
have
definition of physicality. What are y'all basing the physicality off of? Y'all basing it off of defense? Are y'all basing it off of offense? Are y'all basing it off of pace?
Now I'm basing. Oh, hold on. I'm basing, and I got it in the show. Unless if y'all want me to do a part two, I'll do a part two for another hour. I'll jump on. But yeah, the physics. I'm basing it on just how this is the different stat right here that I wanted to show. I didn't show it. This is still the other stat.
You told me close the bathroom.
Other stat was the transitional points. And it shows the better teams
This
are
shit crazy.
the
They had
ones who got the
fucking
fast
OT.
break points. But yeah, we're gonna be back with more content in about 10 minutes, man.